Do you feel like life is too busy to work on your health goals? In this video, I'm going to go over 5 reasons why it's not and how you can improve your health in 2026. Number 1, your goal of starting when you find the time is the wrong goal. Life is never, ever going to stop. And this is something that I've learned the hard way. We all have experiences, right? But especially with fitness, it's something I put high up on my priority list. And that's because I've been fixed into doing it most of my life, since I was 14. So I've really got used to doing it over the years, so much that I've become reliant on it. Not so much in a bad way though. It's reliance in a good way, in a sense that it just makes everything better in my life. It's a domino effect. It affects my mood. It affects my sleep. It affects my energy. It affects my sex life. It affects everything, my confidence. My point here is, I'm assuming you clicked on this video because you know all these things already. And that's exactly the point here is that it's not enough of a priority to you. And once you get it high enough as a priority, that's when the real change happens. It's not about finding the time or having no time. It's about priorities. We all have the same 24 hours in our days, but how do we use it? It's about what's important to us the most. Number 2, the difference between exercise and movement. This is something that people don't think about ever. Or, on the other side of the spectrum, they think about it too much. Let me explain. When it comes to exercising, people have this all or nothing mentality about how they have to have this perfect plan, how they have to have this split that affects everything, and it has to be done perfectly. It has to be this many sets, this many reps. You have to track it, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's not about perfect. It never has to be about perfect. First of all, that's what's overwhelming. That is what gets people to not get started at all, to not even show up at the starting line. And this applies to anything in life besides just exercise. Starting exercise is a big problem for a lot of people because of this reason. They get to this point of not knowing what to do and coming up with excuses to not even get started. So they end up not doing anything. And then on the other side of the spectrum, movement is highly underrated. Even just walking. To this day, I believe that walking is the most beneficial exercise anyone can do. Why? Because it's the most sustainable. The one activity that all of us are able to do, of course, barring any handicaps, at any hour of the day. But Mark, if so many people have access to this, why don't more people do it? Exactly. Or if we look at this from another angle, I used to work Actually, I still work blue-collar jobs. I'm a custodian now. I'm actually on a break right now. But when I wasn't, I used to work at FedEx. I used to work at WB Mason. So at that job, it was very physical, making physical deliveries on your feet all day long, a lot of steps. And I had coworkers who neglected real exercise or neglected their diet or eating habits because they're on their feet all day, because it's such a physical job. And that could be a detriment as well, because they ended up letting themselves go, letting their health go, or eating too much of the wrong things that they end up overweight, big old bellies, and it just doesn't help them. It doesn't help them. It makes their job harder. I knew some people who ended up, actually one guy had a heart attack on the job. It just goes to show that even if you get a lot of movement, if you get a lot of steps in your day, you could easily just throw all that away. So it's important to be aware of both sides of the spectrum here. Number 3, why consistency beats intensity. This is something I talk about endlessly with my coaching and to my clients daily. If you cannot sustain it, then don't do it. The consistency is really what matters the most. As cliche as it sounds, it's the most important part. The more reps you put in, the more you learn about yourself, the more progress you make, whether you're tracking or not. Obviously, it's better to track, whether it be your food or your workouts or both. But if you end up just showing up at something every single day and you don't track, that's better than showing up once a week while tracking. Showing up is the most important step. You learn nothing about yourself, you miss out on an opportunity to grow if you don't show up. I'll give you an example. I wrestled in high school. I wasn't a good wrestler, didn't have a great record, didn't have any real talent. One thing I did have was great attendance. I always showed up, no matter how much I got beat up, no matter how much I may not have wanted to, I still showed up. And that is something I hold this day near and dear to me because it made me the man I am today. Even though I wasn't great at the sport, it taught me so much about myself. It taught me discipline. It taught me the value of hard work. Actually, it's funny, I used to practice in this very room a long time ago. So the point is, keep showing up. That's all that matters. All the rest will come later. The number 4 reason why you think you're too busy to work out or improve your health is because with that logic, you would never get in good health, because life is never gonna slow down. It's gonna be hard no matter what you do. So why not do stuff that's gonna benefit you rather than destroy you? We all go through hardships in life. Life is not easy, it's not smooth sailing, it's not sunshine and rainbows. So do something that's gonna make the ride better for you along the way. People make excuses and they sulk and they sit in this shame around themselves. Whether they're overweight or they're unhealthy or they have health problems. Especially with health problems, it just amplifies that much more onto the rest of life. So if life is gonna be hard no matter what, you gotta choose your hard. Choose to improve your life with your health, because that is the number 1 weapon you could have to do anything else in your life. And that brings me to number 5, which is removing pressure from starting. You put so much pressure on yourself to be perfect. You're a perfectionist. It's gotta be just this way. It's gotta be just that way. Stop. And I was the biggest culprit of this over the years. I held myself back so much. I cannot even emphasize it enough. And I don't wanna say I regret how things turned out, because it just wasn't God's timing. But you gotta think about this, guys. When we are under so much stress, that cortisol, that stress hormone that we have, is crippling. It could be crippling. It just stops us in our tracks. So what happens? We end up not making a decision at all and not making any movements. So you have to choose. You have to train yourself. You train your mind to be fixed, to do and handle one thing at a time. I always use this analogy. I used to work at FedEx. I used to be a manager. I have to take my life one step at a time, because if I do not, I get overwhelmed, and then that's when decision fatigue happens. You got to break it all down into steps. So if you're looking to improve your health going into 2026, I came up with this series for that exact reason. It's a 5-minute series. That's all it is. Half the time I end up doing the workouts because they're 5 minutes. If they were any longer, I wouldn't do them. But my point being is, I've been busy over the years. I had to figure out ways to stay in shape because I didn't have the time to work out or go to the gym or eat right. Eating right's a whole nother subject, but if you want to start with your exercise, it's meant to serve as the bridge from not having any activity or not working out at all to starting, which is the hardest part, like I said. If you could start getting 8,000 to 10,000 steps on top of these, that's ideal. But like I said, one step at a time, and this is how you do it.